Woo-hoo-hoo. And we're live once again on another Tuesday, and I have a special guest in the house today. I have Sarah, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo, Sarah
Hello.
Dodd from Tree Law TV. And so, anyways, Sarah, before we get stuck in, can you just introduce yourself, tell people who you are and what you do, and then we'll chat about our topic today.
Of course, thank you. So, hi everybody. My name is Sarah Dodd. I'm based in the UK. I'm in South Wales in the UK. I'm a solicitor and I'm the owner of Tree Law Firm. So, I'm a firm that specializes in claims to do with trees. I call myself a bit of a tree hugging lawyer. And I know Gillian because she has been my video inspiration, my vidspiration, as I call her. So that's me.
Love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. Okay, so our topic today is my LinkedIn video journey. And what excites me so much about Sarah is that she just jumped into video with like both feet, both hands, whole body, just made the absolute leap into video. And she did it in less than a year. And it's amazing because we met. I kind of went back to our DMs. DMs are a wonderful way to document your journey with people and the conversations you had. And I remember Sarah first approached me in March and just said, "Hey, I'm being nominated for a startup award. So I hope you'll talk about that in a second." And she said, "And I'm looking for some ideas because they've asked me to put together a video." That's the dreaded thing every business owner ever hears is, "I have to put a video together for about 5 minutes talking about who I am and what I do." And it's like, it strikes terror in the hearts of most business owners. And Sarah was looking for vid inspiration of like, what are some tips that you can, give me? And what was the result of your video? Because you had they did it for you, which ended up being a relief because I think you ended up just sending them the clips and they put it together for you. But what was the end result of that video?
Yeah, well, that's a really good remembering our journey because I forgot that was me first reaching out to you about that. So yeah, there are some local startup awards. Well, it's a UK startup awards, and I was nominated for the Rising Star Award, and I won. So and actually the award is behind me there. So that was super exciting. But
It's
yeah,
so
it was.
exciting.
I think as you'd done your application for the award, and then the final part of it was doing a video. So I really wanted to get that spot on. My video journey had started a little bit before then, and then in my previous role, I used to do weekly vlogs for my team. So my team was spread all over the UK, and it was just a really nice, quick way to just keep everyone updated with what was going on. So I really wanted to do a good job. And you helped me. And then they also helped quite a bit as well because they sort of auto-formatted the whole thing.
Yeah, which is awesome. And, it's kind of funny because it's like you think about it, having to do a video is now part of so many application processes. And whether it's like somebody applying for a job, somebody applying for an award, people applying to be part of the LinkedIn Creator Accelerator program. One of the things is you have to do video. And if you don't somehow learn how to embrace video, it's kind of going to hold you back. And I love that you were doing video blogs with your team because it is a really great way to, get the message out there, tell people what you're doing, updating them. So there's just so many great reasons that video, we need to embrace it in some form, even if you don't want to make newsfeed videos. And one of the things that I really admire about you, Sarah, is that you could have just said, "Oh, I'm done. I won the award. I'm done." A video journey. Okay, I've packed in my suitcases and they're going back in the closet. But you didn't. You just you kept going because it's almost like you got the video bug and you decided to just keep going with it. So, you've done, like I said in my post, you've checked off every box. You've sent me videos. You've sent me videos and messages through LinkedIn. I've got your videos. You've done YouTube. You've done newsfeed. You've got a LinkedIn profile. You've done LinkedIn Live now. Your hosts, your guest. You're doing all these different things, which is amazing. So let's circle to the YouTube channel and Tree Law TV, because that's like, where did that even come from?
So yeah, I think as a new business, I don't know whether lots of people find this, but as soon as I started my business, I would get loads of questions from people that just wanted some sort of quick advice. You know, they knew that I was a lawyer specializing in trees, so they would say, "Oh, what happens if this situation arises? What happens if that situation arises?" And I started to see a pattern in the questions that were asked, and I thought, it would be really easy if I just did a video to answer these questions. So I could just say, go to my channel, go to my channel. So I didn't have to keep repeating myself. So a little bit of it was just to make my life easier. Do a video and I could just refer people over to it. So that's how Tree Law TV was born. I think the name Tree Law TV might have come to me whilst I was sort of brushing my teeth or something. But yeah, it was really just how to answer some frequently asked questions. And I think it's working because when I see clients now, some clients say, "Oh, I refer people to your YouTube channel." When they ask me that question, I'll refer them on to your channel. So yeah, that's really good. And it's really interesting to see which videos get lots of watches and which videos just seem to not get much attention at all. It's not the
Yep.
ones that I anticipated, to be honest.
It
So
never is. It never
Mm.
is. And you're just like, I don't understand why, but you just go, okay, well, and it feels like it's always an experiment. Like we try something and then we tweak it, we do a little bit more.
Mm.
I've seen you ask for suggestions of like, well, what do you want to know? So that's
Mm.
good because then you're beginning to kind of go back and find out, okay, what are some of the things that, because I think we all have that curse of knowledge. We know so much about our field and our industry that we sometimes don't realize how little other people don't know. So it's really good if we can kind of go out and find out, okay, what is it that you guys really don't
Yeah.
understand? 'Cause I'm happy to help.
Yeah. And I've started doing two sorts of videos. So I tried to keep them short because I think that may have been one of the tips that you gave me when I launched into video, which is that people's attention span is short. So, you really need to be keeping it to about 60 seconds. It's pretty hard to cram a topic into 60 seconds. So they were sort of creeping and getting longer. They were becoming 2, 3 minutes, and they were almost, I could see that the engagement on them wasn't as much as the shorter videos. So I then sort of pivoted a little and I started doing some YouTube shorts. And my first YouTube short had zero law in it at all. It was literally just sort of a funny clip. And that got, hundreds of views. I think it was on about 900 views. So then I thought, should I even be talking about law at all? So I don't know. It's still it's just a massive learning curve, isn't it? And that's the fun of it.
Yes, yes, and the beauty of YouTube is you can also just have playlists that are different things, so that if you just have things that are about you, as a person, and that's part of our business too, because we are, especially when, we have small business or we're solopreneurs, we have a small business, we're the face of our business. So
Mm.
sometimes just videos on our channel that talk about who we are as a human being, those are good too. That is
Mm.
a form of marketing. So it's not always having to be specific things. And I know I on my YouTube channel, I have all sorts of different playlists. So it's cool to experiment. It's cool to experiment. So Sarah, are you on other channels besides social channels besides LinkedIn? Do you do anything with Facebook or Instagram or any of those other ones?
Well, I've got a Facebook and an Instagram account, but I don't use them so much. But I'm trying to get into using TikTok, which every time I mention that, I get really divided reaction. Um, and I'm not sure what your opinion is on TikTok, but I just think there's no doubt about it that you're seeing more and more people using TikTok for accessing professional services. Um, so yeah, so I'm launching into that. Yeah, but that's pretty new.
That's good. That's good. And, I think we have to just go where we feel our clients are and where's a comfortable platform for us. So I
Mm.
have no TikTok snobbery here. It's just not for me because I want to specialize in LinkedIn because there's just enough on LinkedIn to keep me busy. If I had to start learning TikTok, that was like my brain would go, psh,
Uh,
I could,
yeah.
it would explode. But I know a lot of people are doing, Annette Richmond came on and we talked about TikTok. A lot of people are making that move to TikTok, and then they're being smart by taking those TikTokics and bringing them back to LinkedIn. And that is something that we know that LinkedIn embraces short form video. So the more that we can do that on other channels and be smart and bring them back. And then, of course, doing your TikToks on YouTube and back and forth. I think the only problem with TikTok is you got to be very careful about repurposing the musical parts on YouTube. That can get you into trouble with with YouTube and copyright and music. So LinkedIn, not a big deal, but YouTube.
Yeah, and there's definitely I know you're a massive fan of a list, aren't you? You do like a checklist, and
yes,
you certainly need 3 different checklists if you're dealing with YouTube, TikTok, and LinkedIn, because they're 3 totally different things. I mean, they are totally different. And I don't have a list, which I know is naughty, but I feel like I always need to relearn it afresh every time I upload something and think I must write that list, which I haven't done yet.
So I have to ask you this. So being a lawyer is a very serious profession, even if you're a tree hugging lawyer like you are, who gets to wear hoodies and has a neon sign that says tree law in the back and her fairy lights. I love all this, and your wallpaper. It's so fun. It's so fun. But most of us would think, oh, it's a very stoic profession to be a solicitor. And it's funny, as an American, we never say solicitor, but it just sounds so much more serious. So we love to say that word because we don't use it over here. Here we just say lawyer. It just sounds boring, but solicitor sounds so good. So as a serious solicitor, do you feel, was there any hesitancy to get into doing video? Like, is that a profession where you'd say, nah, accountants and lawyers, we shouldn't do it? Or do you just say, no, anything goes?
I think I was really keen when I set up my business to be able to do this, because I was really pushing in my last job to set up a YouTube channel. Because at the end of the day, clients are people, and they want to access access you and access your legal advice in lots of different ways. For some traditional clients, a neon sign, me doing a TikTok is not going to appeal to them at all. But I think for lots of clients, it really does. It's really accessible and really current. So yeah, I definitely think it's the way forward. And I think we're a little bit behind on that in the UK. I mean, if it's trying to find other lawyers, for example, on TikTok, and there's a hashtag law talk, and you get an awful lot of American, there's a lot of American law talkers, and there was actually a law talk conference in Las Vegas a year ago. Yeah, so it's big. It's big. I mean, there are some really, really key legal TikTokers that are, famous in the legal world and are really entertaining, and they put out really, really professional, entertaining, accessible content. And then there's now hashtag Law Talk UK, and there's far less there. There's far fewer people, but it's going to happen. So it seems it's really exciting to see what's being done by some of the law talkers in America, and thinking, can I use that same sort of fresh approach and do something here in the UK? So yeah,
I love that.
It's not for everybody, but I think it's got to be the future, hasn't it?
I agree. I agree, because that was sort of the whole part of the pandemic, was we were all trapped in our houses and we had to have a way to communicate, and video is a way to communicate and allow people to just get a glimpse of who you are and what you do and how you can help them. And it's something that is not going away, even when we go back to in live person events, which we are doing now. But it's just so easy to consume this kind of content. And it's like, Sarah, if I went to your website, if I was to see a video about who you are and what you do and how you help your clients, versus reading a really, really long, paragraphs and paragraphs, I personally would prefer to just watch a video and get to know you. And then if I want to read more, I can read more. So it just allows us to very quickly, boom, consume what it is about you. So I don't think it's going away. And I agree with you. I think people are going to demand it. So it's like, be ahead of the curve, be ahead of the curve. So I love that. I love that.
I went to a conference about a month ago, and it was meeting face to face a group of people I haven't met before. I've spoken to a lot of them on screen, but not face to face. And when I walked, there was 100 or so people there. When I walked in, someone said, "Oh, it's the lady from YouTube." And I didn't know who that was. I didn't know who he was. So that made, you can sit there doing video content, I'm in my home office doing video, and you almost forget that people are seeing it. I can be quite guilty of thinking, unless someone's engaging with it by liking it and commenting on it, then they're not seeing it. And I forget about the quiet majority that will watch it, enjoy it, but not actually interact in it, but still enjoy it, still find it useful. I forget about them, which is really bad of me.
I think we all do, because we can sometimes post a video and you don't get a ton of engagement and you're just like, was that a waste of time? Well, it's not, because people are seeing it. They are remembering you. It's like they're just, over time, they're getting to know you. They saw a video. And I've had people where it's like they come and they want to work with me. And it's like, I've never seen them before. They've never engaged on any of my content. And they said, "Oh, I've been following you for about a year now." And it's like, really? Like, I had no idea, because you've never even engaged in my content. And it's like, they're just your silent fans, and remember that they're there and you're becoming memorable. So like, what a great compliment. I love that. The YouTube lady is here.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. So speaking of people, let's pop over to our comments and see who's in the house today. So we got Jeff Young in the front row today. Greetings, Gillian and Sarah. Looking forward to seeing your video journey, Sarah. I love it. I love it. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks. And then from YouTube, which is always so fun when we get people from LinkedIn, people from YouTube. We have Diana. Hi. Hello, ladies. I hope you are staying warm and having a beautiful holiday. That's just so nice. I love the community that comes to these lives and how everybody just hops in, and it's nice. I appreciate that. Thank you. We have the man who connected us. I always talk about John Asperian being like the little sun, and we're all the little planets and stars that revolve in his solar system, because I love it. He connects so many people. So John Asperian says, "Great to see you both, Gillian and Sarah, and fab to see South Wales being represented on this live show."
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I love that. Love that.
Thanks, John.
And we got Craig Langley driving, but had to make it, stopped car and pulled over to say hi. We love that. We love that. I like that. And that's good that he stopped and pulled over, because we would not want people.
Only message if it's safe to do so.
Yes, absolutely. Video is such a powerful tool for business nowadays. I love that she jumped right in and went for it. I absolutely agree.
Can I tell you a little?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you a little story. So as well as me being a lawyer, my brother's also a lawyer. We're in totally different professions. So I deal with trees. He deals with hotels. And we've had very different career journeys, but with me jumping into video, it's inspired him to jump into video as well. So he started a TikTok channel, and because his business is hotel law, hotel real estate. He's doing his TikToks outside some of the famous hotels in London. So so it's really good to see he had one TikTok got about 65,000 views because he was outside the Strand. And that went crazy. So his TikToks are doing really well.
Wow. So there could be a whole little family competition going on there, but a friendly one.
Exactly. A TikTok collaboration, maybe.
I love it. You're good. Have you had him on your live?
No. No, I should do. It's funny, I don't know what sort of responses you get from people when you invite them onto a live, but some people think, well, I don't, they say, but I don't know anything about tree law. So what am I going to have to say on your live? It's like, well, I don't want you to talk about tree law. I just want people that watch my live to get to know you, because you're somebody that's in my network that I like and I find interesting, and I think other people will.
Absolutely. And, in my opinion, everyone has a story to tell, and everybody has a nugget of wisdom that they could share that only you have, so that
Mm,
when you come on and you are somebody's LinkedIn Live guest, you're sharing, you're sharing that nugget of wisdom with the world. And people,
mm,
you never know who's going to walk away and say, wow, I heard this on a live, and it's like, it's a game changer for me. So
mm.
it's like, yes, everybody should be here. Everybody should be here. I love it. I'm a client of Gillian's as well, Sarah. She did both my intro and my profile videos. Highly recommended. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah.
So that is something that you have also done. You did your profile video, because I
Mm,
said you checked off all the LinkedIn boxes. So you have done profile videos, and it's very nice, and it's captioned. So that's very good.
yeah.
And I noticed that you've done articles, and you have embedded your videos inside the articles as well. Is there kind of a favorite for you? Like, if you kind of look at all the places that you can do video on LinkedIn, is there like a favorite spot?
Do you know what? I think I need to revisit my profile video, because that was one of the first ones I did, and I feel like I can make that a little bit more whizzy now. It's a little bit one-dimensional, but I'll leave that as it is. I think I like do I think the shorter form videos, and I think just literally just posted straight onto my feed, they're the ones that tend to get most engagement, I think. Um, but it just sort of depends what mood I'm in as to what I enjoy doing. I know that's like,
Yep.
yeah. And sometimes I can sort of just find myself carried away and I suddenly start playing. I think I've done it when I was learning with you. I know that we went through a few lessons and I was rewatching my lessons on our recorded Zoom. And then I just suddenly started playing with something, and I was almost like submitting my homework by showing it to you and saying, "What do you think?" Like, no one's ever going to see it, but what do you think?
And
Yeah.
it's fun to just play. It's fun to just be creative, and I think that's
Mm,
actually the appeal for a lot of people to go on to TikTok, is that there's all sorts of great things that if you can't think of ideas, it's like the next thing you know, you can have a dinosaur in your backyard, or, there's
mm.
always some crazy things with TikTok that gives people, and it's a way to unleash your creativity and just kind of let the genie out of the bottle and have fun.
I'd, I'd agree. I remember being in a meeting once, and someone said, "Oh, the thing with lawyers is we're all black and white. We're not creative. We just work on answers." And I just thought to myself, "I'm not just black or white. I want to be creative." And I learned, during COVID and lockdowns, I learned how important creativity was for me to, I just was relax, express myself. And I have found that same creativity outlet in video production, most definitely. Um,
Yep.
yeah. So it
I
does
love
help
it.
me scratch that creative itch.
And I love it because one of the things about your thumbnails is your thumbnails are very
I,
ah. And to me, that's just being playful and fun, because you could be like the traditional, lawyer stance where you have to have a bookcase and you have to fold your arms and you have to look
yeah.
pensive out the window or something like that. And you're just like,
I'd say
just do
there's more to come there, because I know that you said I remember you were talking to me about thumbnails and we were having my first lessons, and I've just done a thumbnail photo shoot, so I've got a whole archive of me pulling loads of different really silly expressions, so we'll have to see how those go down.
Well, and the funny thing is, like, you just go, does that really work to have the goofy,
Yeah.
expressions on thumbnails? It does, like,
Mm,
especially on YouTube, because it's like they say faces sell.
mm,
Like, we're almost like our brains are hardwired to react to a face. So when we see a face, if you have the difference between seeing two videos and one is just text on screen and the other one is this goofy, you're more likely to pick the goofy one. You're just
Mm.
naturally attracted to it. So I'm glad you
Even,
had your photo shoot.
even when you know even when you know that that's what you're doing yourself, like I'll find that I'm attracted to the ones with someone sort of go woohoo like that, and you think, oh my goodness, I'm such a sucker for that. But it's like being attracted to people telling a story. If someone says, oh, let me tell you a story, I find myself tuning in, even though I know it's a strategy for them to get me to listen. It's like you almost can't help yourself. It's just built in.
It works. It works. It works. Marnie says, love the pragmatism. Work smarter, not harder. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. That's great. That's great. Pragmatism. So do you want to explain that in terms of pragmatism? How does that fit into your strategy at all? Pragmatism?
Can you rewind back to the last comment?
Yep.
Yeah.
Love the pragmatism.
That's interesting. The sort of work smarter, not harder. Because one thing I definitely need to work on, which I've seen you speak a lot about, is about repurposing my content and repurposing my video content. And that when people are saying to me, what are your goals for 2023? Repurposing has got to be one, because I feel like I've created a lot of videos and I need to start splitting them up, using mini clips and not reinventing the wheel each time.
Oh, I absolutely agree. And it's like you just go, there's so much content out there. You're just like, I don't want to keep creating more content. How can I just use this in a different format? And that is a whole part of video strategy versus just, flipping on the camera and making videos and stuff.
I feel like that's a lesson in itself, because I've heard you talk about it and I've heard you talk to lots of guests about it, but I find that really hard. So it's almost like a lesson I need somebody to take me through. So I do it.
Okay. Yana says, this stage is full of energy, no video fears, no self-doubt, bottleneck. And that's true, because I think, it's funny. I was thinking about that this morning. I was, you just wake up with something. And I was actually telling Sarah about, I use a app on my phone called Otter AI, where it's like, if a thought comes to me, I can grab my phone and I can record it. And I was thinking about how mindset is still a stumbling block for so many people, and they don't recognize that that's the biggest anchor holding them back from doing video. Because it's like, I know in the beginning, I always thought it was about the tech, that people, if I showed them the tech, they'd know how to do it. And it's not. It's that feeling of like, well, who am I? Who am I to be doing video? I'm too nervous to do this. But the thing is that I love how you came from a position of wanting to help people, Sarah. And I think that's a good way to kind of get over yourself. I know you didn't have to, but for some people that is a hurdle of like, I'm nervous to turn on the camera. But you said, I thought of the questions that people wanted to ask, and it's much easier for me and easier for them to go to your YouTube channel. And if you think about it, if you sat down with them and met them, you got to turn on the clock and charge them, right? You got a question for a lawyer. It's billable hours. We know that's how lawyers work. And yet anybody can go to your YouTube channel and they can watch your videos, and they're getting free advice. So you think about it, this is a very generous gift that you can give people. So if you focus first on who your videos are for, it really does help eliminate that fear. And then you just say, and if I'm talking about what I'm comfortable talking about, then there really shouldn't be any self-doubt. So that's my take on it.
No, I agree.
Marnie says, yes to going to where the people are. Absolutely. It's like you got to find your tribe and be on the places that resonate for you, The data, fear, politics, China-owned related worries with TikTok are a concern. That is true. For some people, there's a lot of concern about TikTok. And that's why it's like, it's got to be a right fit for you and a right fit for your customers. And If you're not comfortable with TikTok, then just look at YouTube Shorts. So that's all.
Yeah.
There's always an alternative. So we're never stuck on one platform, although we're very happily stuck on LinkedIn and we like being stuck on LinkedIn. So that's
Yeah.
good. Bingo. Clients are people too. Absolutely, Jeff. Absolutely. You should look up a lawyer friend of mine, Bradley Miller, Sarah. He has really embraced social media, especially LinkedIn. So there we
Ooh,
go.
I will. I'm going to write them down. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. You've given her homework. You've given her homework. Okay. So we're at the 30-minute mark. It always just goes so fast. It's amazing how fast it goes. Let me just
It's
sort of
flowing.
comments. Yeah, it always just absolutely flies by. So I just wanted to kind of say, give us a takeaway, sort of what have you learned on your journey to maybe somebody who's like back where you were a year ago, 2 years ago, before you even were like made your very, very first video, whatever, before you began your video journey, what advice would you give to somebody?
I think I found video just a whole different language, and people were talking about closed captions, and I just didn't know what on earth was going on. So I think get some guidance from somebody that knows what they're doing. I think my first session with you, Gillian, I looked like a rabbit in the headlights, but it was an incredibly quick learning curve. And then as you learn and play with it, it just becomes more second nature. So I just think just have a go. I mean, I love watching videos. I love doing them. Yeah. So for me, it's a no-brainer.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you very much, Sarah, for being on the show today and being a guest and sharing your journey. We're all going to keep our eye on you for 2023. No pressure. And we'll just see how your experimentation goes. I suggest everybody follow Sarah. Go check out her YouTube channel. She's got a link on her profile. Go become a subscriber, because even if tree law is not your thing, and why shouldn't it be? Because we all love trees. Go and just see what someone is doing, a professional is doing with video, and use it as a teaching tool for yourself. It's always good to see how other people are doing their video. So thank you for being here today, Sarah, and everybody. We'll see you next week. We got a special 1 hour live next week. So I got 2 special guests coming up. So you'll just have to stand by and see what that is. Okay. So see you, everybody, and happy holidays. Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.